Currently enjoying a little moment of peace and quiet and reflecting on the week. I've been working on Lincoln Poop mainly. I've finished the last story. Currently working on doing the colors. And I also got this notice in the mail that there's a package waiting for me at the local customs office. And that sort of turned out to be a visitor from the past. Rather unusual. Well, this is the package that I picked up from the customs office. Actually, it's the package that was inside of the package that I picked up. You see, I used this package about 10 years ago to send a self-portrait to a friend. And the idea behind this was the self-portrait was for an artist who had been quite an important influence on me at the time. And my friend was supposed to do an interview with this artist. So I asked him if he could personally deliver this drawing for me. Well, for one reason or another, this unfortunately never became a reality. So recently he sent it back to me. And this is the drawing that's inside. You may notice that this, doesn't really look like a self-portrait, but it is to me. It's a print of my right hand. It's the hand that I used to draw with, and the print was done in my own blood. And I filled in all the gaps with line work and lettering. And if you take a closer look, you will see that all these words are in Latin. And that's mainly because back in the day I thought using Latin would make the whole thing seem a bit more legit. If it's in Latin, it's got to be true, something like that. I was all about authenticity back then, or perhaps more like the taste of authenticity. What this is it combines my DNA with my drawing theory of the day. I came up with this pretty simple theory about drawing. So in the middle of the hand you will see the word delineare, which is Latin for to draw, and above that are you could say the four pillars of drawing. On the index finger you have the word sentire, which means to see. After that it's observare, which means to observe. After that it's ordinare, which means to understand, to put into order. And the fourth one is videre, which means to feel. I came up with this theory that seeing, observing, understanding and feeling are the four pillars of drawing. And you will also notice the word cupiditas in the thumb region. Cupiditas means passion. At the bottom there is a spade element, and inside of that spade are two Latin phrases. The first one being nosce te ipsum, which means recognize yourself. And that was really important at the time to me. I think almost all of the work that I did back then was very personal, and I always tried to deal with myself and my art, to get to know myself better through my art. That was really my main goal back in the day, and in a way it still is, but maybe not as obvious anymore. I don't know. It got a bit more complicated since then. I don't know. And below that is the phrase nihil omne, which means everything is nothing, and that tells you a bit about my state of mind back then. I was quite a bit more fatalistic back then, bit more reckless. There were times in my late 20s where I didn't think that I would ever see the day that I would be 30. It's not that my lifestyle wasn't that unhealthy, and I wasn't suicidal, even though I had my really somber days and weeks and months, I guess, or maybe years. That's actually what I like to call that period, from around age 27 to 29, my somber years. Um, Quite destructive, but also quite productive in a way. I really channeled a lot of negative feelings, a lot of the feeling of being lost. I put that all in my art. Art was really my outlet for that. Um, and that's one of the examples. There are many other examples. So in a way, it's really almost like being visited from somebody from the past, almost like a time capsule. It almost seems like it was never the plan for this drawing to reach its original destination, but this work's plan was always to just disappear for about 10 years and then reappear, and then say, come back to me and say, Mueller, look at yourself, look at your old self, recognize yourself. And it kind of worked. Receiving this drawing has caused me to take a good look back at who I was back then and what was going on. There are many things that I don't quite agree with nowadays that I did back then. Maybe I was a bit too hard on myself, on my old self. So yeah, it's been an interesting experience to receive this drawing.